And welcome back to part 13 of The Evil Within. This time we're going to go through the huge ass door we spent all last part trying to open and figure out the secrets of this, whatever the hell kind of mansion this is. Also, there's going to be a hell of a lot of story coming up, so I won't be able to talk much. Oh.
Slice clean, all the way.
This isn't much, this is just him cutting away at a pig, so this isn't, I'm not going to be counting this as much story. So I'll talk over this bit.
Pristine skin. Thoughts from the mines. What do you fear, little one?
It's a dead pig, I doubt it fears anything there, man. Also, my throat is a little bit sore, if you can't tell already. I'll try not to make it too prominent of an issue, but yeah, I've noticed it. Before I've got a drink next to me in case it gets too bad, but I want to tackle through this because Evil Within, like, how many days go past before each part? I don't mean it to take to take as long as it has done, but I want to just get a move on with it now, even if I do end up with a sore throat. Yeah. I love the music that plays for this thing. I don't know what the monster's actually called. As far as I'm concerned, it's just this big soul like blood red soul monster. But it has such a kick-ass little theme. Oof, canal. Right, if you touch the wires, it doesn't make the spikes come down immediately. It just speeds up how quick the spikes come, so you probably won't make it to the other end before the spikes reach you. But in saying this, I've never got this far on hard mode or Akumo mode, so I'm not sure if it is spontaneous if you trigger it on the harder difficulties. I've never got that far to try. I'd say that wasn't too bad. It also comes down layer by layer behind you as well if you take too long. You saw everything render in for a second there, didn't you? Because I did. Oh, here comes our friend the Red Soul. I'm just going to call it Red Soul from now on, so I don't actually know what its name is. Oh shit. Right, if you're near the Red Soul, it will drain health from you. If you get too close to it, it will possess you, and possession is an outright instant kill. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it pulls you out of the thing for trying to disarm bombs if you're injured, so the draining of that caught. Oh shit. So I can't really disable any of the bombs because it'll just keep on draining a bit of my health and taking it away. Oh, there's the soul. Still great, you can just punch the locks off like nobody's business. I didn't do anything to you, leave me alone. And we're back here again, never mind. Yeah, I'll use one of these just to be safe, you never know. So a bunch of the nearby villagers are going attacking this giant barn house in the middle of the sunflower field. But it's who's in the sunflower, not in the sunflower field. It's because there's sunflowers everywhere. I end up calling it that. Who's in that barn? That's important, and that's why we need to be. Because we need to see who's in the barn. But I think there's actually a bit of ammo scattered around. Yeah, there's a bit there. You know, I don't know if like what happens. Like if you run out into that sunflower field like as far as you can go, I don't know what actually happens. I'm not gonna try it here. Like you can try it if you want, if you ever go through the game yourself. But I don't know. Like, cause it just feels like an endless field. But I can imagine it being an invisible wall somewhere. And this is where there's like 20 angel statues with the keys like hidden among all of that or something. Right, let's get this door open. I'm going to shut up for this little sequence here, just so you can see what's going on.
I know you're in here. I can hear you breathing.
Rich bastards. Think they can buy up all our land.
They need to be shown who really owns these parts.
Hey, I think there's kids in there. I didn't hear anything. What the?
Somebody, open the door! Reuben! Reuben, you have to climb!
Shit. I better get out of here. There.
Right, so what you can tell from this, the locals were not too happy with Reuben's family for having a barn in their area, or their turf as they, for what they felt was theirs. So they burnt down their barn without the slightest care in the world that Reuben's family, well, Reuben and his sister Laura were in this building. Oh right, so we need to actually move this along before we can pull it up then. I'm guessing this giant ass pirate wheel will do it. So yeah, so that's why if you ever see, like, when you see Ruvik, when Ruvik appears, there's all these burns all over his body, and when back in the mansion, there was parts where his faces were all plastered up, because it was after the burn and after he lost his Sierra Laura, because Laura didn't make it out of this. And yes, Laura is also the name of the weird spidery demon woman that scared the shit out of me in chapter 6, that I never enjoyed going through because of it. Also, after we've had like this magical encounter with Laura, it's literally they pretty much use this as an excuse to bring her back next chapter. And now we get to actually fight Red Soul. Right, the only way you're supposed to fight Red Soul is that you can't harm him himself, but he spawns loads of enemies. As soon as every enemy's dead, he goes into freak mode, and then you just have to keep away from him long enough for the freak mode to wear out, and then you win. And I'm using the sniper just because it's a guaranteed one-hit kill if I hit the head. Because he spawns a lot, because these enemies stack up on you very quickly otherwise. Got ya. Ooh, as soon as this cutscene activates, any or all loot, any gel, anything like this that you see here, you can't pick up anymore. So those two gel piles there, I can't touch. I won't be able to pick them up. There's like a matchbook in the background that I missed as well. Matchbox even. So yeah, I've just missed out on loads of little stuff. And there's like an arrow in a wall that I didn't pick up as well. Did I? Oh. And we're back here. After Ruvik's played his little mind game, we can go through it properly. Yay! We are right at the end of the chapter now. Like,
Must eat. You've got to
oh no, I'll shut up for this cutscene. No, it interrupted me, but I'll let it interrupt me. Never mind, it just cuts off. Like what we're supposed to do, if you go through that door, it's you're wasting your time. To end the chapter, you're supposed to go through that little bit here. When you get through it, it just closes behind you. And the chapter just sort of ends. See? I'm only 10 minutes into recording. So I'll do the next chapter. Chapter 10 is where the fun begins. Like, it's the last... This is the last chapter before it goes full on urban and abandons a lot of the horror. Like, the horror's still there, just... the environment doesn't support the horror after this chapter. But this is the chapter where they have the most fun with the horror elements, and you'll see what I mean as we go through it. And this was actually a very refreshing chapter after how much chapter 9 gave me hell. But we'll see as and when we get to it. The only thing I worry about with this chapter for my recording is that, like, when I go to end parts, I prefer to end my parts when I'm at the mental hospital, because it's easier to save and end it there. Like, I can roll on the checkpoint, but I don't like to.
And they served a higher purpose.
In chapter 10, they're really fucking far away from each other. I'm going to shut up for the rest of this.
Mere research. The things the papers say were done to those people, those traps.
These vermin, these microbes, they're mine to do with as I please. But you are correct. This was not mere research. I'm close to perfection.
This is abhorrent.
This is my will.
So Reuben's research is ended up harming and threatening a lot of people's lives. So our good old professor, doctor even, decided to step in and try and help him and try and stop the madness. And well, Reuben didn't agree. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention back in last chapter there was a another like Sebastian journal entry, and it wasn't actually like Sebastian entry. It was a newspaper saying that the building that Seb was living in got burnt to the ground, and his daughter was in there and didn't survive the fire. So his daughter died at the age of 6. So we know that much as well.
Who is that guy next door?
That's the game trying to hint you to actually look next door to see who's there.
Do you have any idea why this world is the way it is?
What? Who are you?
Hate. Hate. Ruvik's hate. The man's consumed by it. He wants out. Wants to get his revenge. He wants back what he feels the world took from him. It's not like he could actually get that. It's not like he could actually get that. This world exists as long as he does.
You heard something just now?
Right, it's heavily implied as it goes through that that dude in the house is Reuben's dad, but I'm not actually 100% sure if it is. It's just what it's implied, and I only just noticed that portrait. Look at it. No, not the newspaper. Look at that portrait in the background. It was a fucking safe with flowers. We have got a lot of gel to play with for upgrades. Well, not too much, but enough. Let's see if there's anything interesting. Like 10,000 for the next health up. Because I still want to put something in my stock, but at the same time, like, my stock's quite good. The only thing that my stock's getting too much from is handgun ammo, but then handgun ammo is plentiful regardless, so I don't think it'd make much of a difference if I upgraded that. And at one point I'm going to start stockpiling a lot of gel. And it'll probably be like as I start chapter 11 I'll start stockpiling a lot of gel, just because we're actually going to get a new weapon in like halfway through chapter 11. And it's also got its own upgrade path, just like all the other guns we've got, so I want to try and store something in it just so it gets a good fresh start. Oh, okay, fine, I'll go around. So that's what I meant. That's what I meant, like, right near the start of the playthrough I said that door's weird, because sometimes it's locked, sometimes it isn't. That time the door was locked, so I have to go this way around. I have no idea what determines whether that door's locked or not. It just is, sometimes. Let's see what we get this time. Ooh. Freeze bolts. If I could do a freeze bolt. Freeze bolts, I've been like neglecting them quite a lot. They're really powerful if you use them wisely. Because it holds the enemy in place, and it also makes all damage do more to them because it's shattering the ice that they're frozen on. So like on bosses or just in general bigger enemies, if you can freeze them and mow into them, you're doing nearly double damage. Let's actually get a move on to the rest of this madness field chapter. And I say that just because of one section. The rest is not actually that hectic. It's just one section that really sold it on being a kind of more hectic and more having a bit of fun chapter. Oh, explosive wires, all easy. I can't actually see any explosive attached to it, so it's probably something to do with those spikes on the side there. Oh yeah, I see what it is. Like, if you trip any of the wires the spikes close into, you can't get in here. And I think there's actually, yeah, there's a key in here as well. So if you trip that wire, you can't get the key in here. And because it's dark in here, they expect you to trip it without realising. It's quite a clever little secret, really. Both these doors, if you push them, you'll hear people screaming. I don't know why you have to push them to get the screaming, but hey ho. Come on, where's the fun bit? Where's the bit I'm looking forward to? Here it is. Ah, yes, this is it. This is the part that I think is why it's called this chapter the Madhouse chapter. Because this section here, like if we get convinced this thing to trip one of the wires. Yeah, it tripped one. Alright, now let's stand back and crouch. Because this whole thing's going to come alive. Look at this. This is brilliant. Look at it.
Insane.
It just decapitates everything. Whilst at the same time playing like very very interesting music. Like proper carnival music. It's just such a nice little thing. Fucking hell. There's also a sniper around. Yeah, and the infected, some of them have got sniper rifles now, and that one just tried to take a shot at me. Oh, it ran. Oh, that's not. Ow. We're starting to approach the game where the enemy's AI starts to get quite smart, and we'll start getting a lot of good pot shots on me like that. Because it waited until I went to throw. You can actually see the spark of the sniper over there. I might be able to get him. Where is he? Yeah, he's over there. He is over there. You can see the spark. No, I think, yeah. You'll get back up in a sec to try and shoot. Got ya. Right. It's good to have a sniper match to get the old blood pumping. Right, I remember this little section here because this section is very easy to get cornered because it's not that big of an area. It's quite short and quite corridor, and there's like 2 normal infected and not one of the big ones. And of course the big guys have a lot more health, so they take a while to get through. Hopefully this bot will hit one of them. Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, and they got the steel plate faces as well. And he's got a gun. Oh, he's dealt with. He's dealt with. Ah! Ow. Look, the enemy just sort of sits there. It doesn't do anything whilst you're on the gun. It just sits there, lets you get up and actually like skedaddle a little. I can still hear the weird little carnival ride. Wow, it's still not dead. Flipping heck. And it just casually tanked a whole arrow. Yay. There we go. I don't think it dropped anything, so I just wasted like an explosive bolt and 2 arrows on the blighter, and it still got a pretty decent amount of health off me. Right, the reason why we came up here is because there's another door that requires us to insert a battery pack to get into. And that battery pack is along here. It's yeah, there it is. And now we can actually use it to get a door and get out of our little fun house we got going on here. I mean, look at it. Oh, there's another enemy over there. The reason why you want to take out the snipers is because if you don't, if they shoot you and get a pot shot, it pulls you out of stealth mode. And if it pulls you out of stealth mode, you'll be standing straight. And if you're in the middle of that and that blade's coming round and you're standing straight, you're getting your head cut off. There's no like two ways about it. There's no mercy with this. It will just cut you clean off. But other enemies will actually start crouching themselves. But their like programming works identical to ours in the sense that if you put a bullet in them, it will force them to stand up. So if you shoot them in time with this, they'll just force them to stand up, and then they'll just get their heads cut off. This spot you have to jump a wall, so be quick about it, because that is going to come around. On harder difficulties, that thing's faster. So I shot him, so he stood up. So then the thing took his head off. Also, if you get in gel, like you see you jolted up there for a second there, if the thing comes around during the jolt, it might hit your head. The game's very picky on its coding. I wouldn't be surprised if that actually does count and takes you. Oh, more matches. As much as I like disarming the bombs, that was just too clear of a shot. It was like there was no other version and way of doing that seemed appropriate. That just shoot the explosive. Here's what we need the battery pack for to open the door. There we go. Now let's get out of here and get through the door and out of this our little carnival ride of hell. Because I wish the game did more of this. Like, look, this is just a bit having fun with the horror. And I wish we had more of it, because it would have made the game so much better. Like if it had a bit of style and a bit of finesse with its horror. Because that's not one of the main problems of this game. Is that it's too like down to earth with a lot of its horror elements. Like if they had something more playful like that, it would have been so much better. Alright, that ladder over there, you'll see what I mean when we get to it, but it's got a really bizarre glitch on it of no matter what you do, once you go to climb down it, Sebastian immediately climbs back up it. Look, watch. I've let go of the controller. I am not touching anything.
What the?
He just climbed it back up. He only ever does it the first time. Like after that, he'll go down it normally. Just, yeah, don't think your controller's messing you about or anything like that. He just does that for some stupid reason. I don't know if it's intentional or whether it is just a weird glitch or what, but it's just there. I don't know. Seems bizarre for it to just happen. Right, I'm getting quite concerned that I'm going to have to save during the checkpointed sequence instead of a hospital, because the next hospital room is not for quite a while yet, and we're quite some time into this video. We're about 22, possibly 23 minutes in. And the editing software I use, Share Factory, does not handle anything over half an hour, just flat out. So I'll go a little further, but if I reach about the 25-minute mark, I'll save at checkpoint, as much as I don't want to. I don't think you can actually use this yet. You have to actually do a puzzle. Yeah, see, you have to actually do a puzzle. Oh well. There's a lot of enemies in this room if I remember rightly, so be careful. You might get pretty effed up if you're not. Oh, never mind. Got you. Oh no, he's got to chip me then. Damn it. That's one. Yeah, you can disarm it whilst it's beeping at you if you're quick enough. Oh, bloody hell. That's two. That big guy's not going to be dead. I know he won't. Ah, they didn't even give me the command to push him away. That's not fair. I'm getting into a bit of an awkward predicament because the only real good thing I've got to deal with him right now, fuck, is the crossbow. There we go. Sorry for the cut there for a second there. The editing software that I've used, like the PS4's recording software, it reached its 15-minute limit because it records it in 15 minutes chunks, and so it stopped there, and so I had to quickly just kill. All I did was kill the big guy. He didn't miss much. It was just there was a bit of a cut there. And it's because I was in the heat, I couldn't just suddenly restart just continue the recording. I had to try and save myself and get like a bit of breathing room to start it again. But the fact that that run dry, and chapter 9 was already 10 minutes long, this part, plus 15 minutes, we're at 25 minutes. So next checkpoint, I'm calling this a part, which I think's up ahead. So next time on the Evil Within, we'll unlock that stupid huge door and finally get to a hospital to use the 2 keys we found and the amount of experience we're gaining. But until then, take care. What the fuck's going on? Where is that checkpoint? I've already said my outro, come on. It's literally on the other side of the door. Yeah, okay. Take care, guys. See yous.